前几年有注意到，虽然 COP 是一个有关于环境保护、地球生存的一个会议，可是却找不到素食可以吃。我们也觉得其实是跟会议的主题相当有冲突。慈济在前几年加入了跟其他的劝素团体一起写信给大会说，我们希望有素食，而且是素食要多于其他的食物参与气候会议的来宾们。
Received the invitation from the government to be here in the COP28 to provide our products during this day event. A switch for good to switch your life from the eating meat to be vegan and to support the animal.
那今年在 COP28，很高兴可以看到大会有听到慈济还有其他劝素团体的声音，因为今年素食的摊位都出现在 COP 的各个角落里面。
Every day growing up. Expectation is business is good, but not like that. So every day I see it's growing up.
So actually, it looked yummy on the picture, and my colleague and I actually were curious to taste something new and different. So we went for this burger. It's mainly the picture though. Very good, just like meat.
I'm a sustainability expert, so I do have concerns about how the meat industry affects the climate. So when I saw the option of plant-based meat, that side of me was interested to come and try it out. It was my first time trying it. It tastes good, it's really nice, it feels like meat. So I'm very much impressed by the technology. And unfortunately in my country, Kenya, we do not have a lot of plant-based meat options. So I'm not able to do the full transition.
This year, COP organizers showcased climate-friendly foods with 1.5 degrees Celsius aligned menus. It also made a critical announcement on global water shortages and food insecurity on Food, Agriculture and Water Day, which took place on December 10th and received support from 152 countries. Tzu Chi also held a parallel event on ethical eating.
Tzu Chi started the ethical eating movement back to COP20 in Peru. That time we already promote ethical eating. It's been a long process. You can see from ethical eating, we moved to plant-based diet. And then from there, we have so-called 80-20 to reduce the hunger movement. And now we have 21-day health diet movement to protect the earth and for good and for the health.
So the ethical eating is very resonant with indigenous practices. Being in the middle of the Pacific, understanding that prior to 1980s, our food was 80% from our lands. And after the 80s, it's now 80 to 90% outside of our lands. Our communities are really making the switch in our government to support local farmers so that we can reduce the amount of transportation fees, as well as increase access for farmers to get support into the market.
80 billion animals are slaughtered every year for meat. Every year, 80 billion living things are slaughtered. And I was really gratified to learn that the foods that we should consume for our health are those foods that exert the lowest environmental damage. In other words, the food that's good for us is good for the planet. To produce 100 grams of beef takes 75 times more land than the same amount of protein from tofu. So the foods we should eat for our personal health are the foods we should eat for the planet's health. That's an ethical issue.
The climate change is impacting all the food system in our country. The food system is changing very drastically because of the climate change. The weather is now outside the control of everybody, and women are suffering from that. We are importing more than using and eating what we have been producing.
From COP20 to COP28, it's 8 years. Now, after 8 years, we see action, and the action leading to outcome. So what will be the next? That's the issue. What will be the next? The next should be continuity and think more in depth and think outside the box.